I found out my sister has been cashing checks in my name for 3 years. My sister Nat and I have always been close enough that when she went through a difficult period 4 years ago, I told her she could use my address for correspondence while she sorted out her living situation. She was between places and things were complicated, and I trusted her completely without question because she was my sister, and I had never once had a reason not to. That single decision turned out to be the most expensive thing I have ever done for another person in my entire life, and I made it without hesitation or a second thought in about 30 seconds flat. I found out entirely by accident in February. I had applied for a car loan and was told my credit score had taken a significant and completely unexplained hit that the lender could not account for on their end. I requested a full credit report and sat down with it on a Sunday afternoon, expecting to find a missed direct debit or some small administrative error I had overlooked somewhere along the way. What I found instead was a long and detailed series of financial activity attached to my name that I had absolutely no knowledge of whatsoever. Accounts I had not opened, transactions I had not authorized, a pattern that had been running consistently for almost 3 full years without a single break in it anywhere. I spent 2 full days going through every page of it carefully before I said a word to anyone at all. I needed to be completely certain before I made any call, because once I made it, there was no version of this that went back to how things had been between us. By the time I had finished going through everything, I was certain. The pattern was entirely consistent and pointed in one direction. I called Nat on a Tuesday morning and told her I needed to talk, and I needed her to come and see me in person that same day. She said she was busy. I told her it was not optional, and that if she did not come to me, I would come to her. She came that afternoon without once asking what it was about. She sat across from me at my kitchen table, and I placed the credit report flat on the table between us and asked her to explain it. She looked at the pages and then at me and said she didn't know what I was looking at. I told her I had already spoken to 2 of the financial institutions involved, and that the correspondence address on the accounts was my address, the one I had given her permission to use 4 years ago. She said someone must have stolen her details and used her address without her knowledge. I asked her to explain why 3 years of fraudulent activity in my name corresponded exactly with the period she had been using my address, starting from the same month and not 1 day before. She looked at the table. I asked her to look me in the eye and tell me she had not done it. She did not look up. That was all I needed. I told her I had an appointment with the police the following morning, and I would be bringing everything I had compiled. She said I was going to destroy her life. I told her she had been systematically destroying my financial life for 3 years while sitting at my dinner table at Christmas and asking how I was doing. She said she had been desperate and hadn't known what else to do. I told her I had given her money before every time she had asked, and I would have given it again, and she knew that. She started to cry. I told her the appointment was at 9, and I was not canceling it. She left without saying another word. I went the next morning and handed over the report, the dates, the full timeline, everything. The officer said they would be in contact with Nat directly. My mom called 3 days later and said I was tearing the family apart. I told her Nat had been doing that quietly for 3 years while everyone looked the other way. She had nothing to say to that. I'm still waiting to hear what happens. I stopped waiting for an apology a long time ago.